Good morning and welcome back. What I want to show you today was I've Googled and tried to find over and over again the actuator for my 1996 Honda. So what my issue is with this car is that when I press the button to go from vent to floor to defrost, it doesn't switch. There's no air coming out of my vents. There's no air coming out of the defrost. There's none coming out of the floor. So I've started looking. I couldn't find anything on this. So what I finally found is right here is my actuator. So this is the one that changes my vents. I've already taken this screw out. So in order to get to where we're at here, you've got to take this panel here off. So the panel underneath the dash. You'll take this one screw here out. Now this is a 96, so somebody may have already taken some of these bolts out, and it just popped out of place at that point. As soon as I got it out of my way, I was able to get down and look and see this triangle looking piece. That's what operates the door, between my vents and my defrost. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this bolt here loose. There's one, it looks like one on this side, there's three holding it in. I've already unplugged it, and then I'm gonna pull it out and see if I can make the motor work without it, or make the doors work without the motor attached. Okay, so I got it out. This is my actuator. And on the back, it's got a little arm that is controlled by the motor. And this one's not turning at all. I'm gonna check it in a minute with a little wrench to see if it's still able to move. But what I wanted to see was if my box right here would move. So, I don't know exactly how it works. Let me play with it for just a minute. Okay, it's not moving, so my actuator might not be bad. It may be something in here that's jammed up. Okay. All right, so let me play with this for a minute. Also, what I was thinking was an easy way to check my actuator is to plug it back in. So I can turn it here so we can see this little arm. And when I turn the switch on, find my keys and push my buttons and see if it moves. There it goes. So in this one, I don't think my actuator's messed up as much as there's something in there holding these. I would think that these should move fairly easy when there's not under a load, so something's got it in a bind. Let me do some research and I'll be right back. Okay, I think I may have just discovered what the issue is. It looks like this little metal stop is supposed to be inside this groove here. So it's in a bind. It's come out of its place. It's an inch or two off. So let me see if I can push him back over. I don't know why that would have jumped like it did, but let me see if that changes anything. All right, so here's what's happened. I moved it over from where it was to where it is, and now everything moves like it's supposed to, very free. So the issue would have been the whole time that piece jumped off. Now, I'm gonna try to figure out why that piece moved, to figure out what caused this. But I know a lot of guys that went in and just changed an actuator out and said, I don't know. But we got to go in and look and figure out what's causing the issue. So in this case, because these should move freely, when that actuator is what moves it. So if they're moving freely, it would be something like maybe with the actuator. But remember, when we plug the actuator in, we can push the buttons up on the dash and make the actuator move. So this, other than my time, is going to be a free fix. So just take a look at that before you go out and buy. I think this part was like 50 bucks. And so I just saved myself $50 just by going in and trying to figure out what the problem was. All right, so in closing, I'll put it back together. Now, when I turn my switch on, the sun's gonna work against me a little bit. I should be able to hit my buttons and watch it move. Now I've got air blowing out my vents. And just as a recap, I put my bolts back in it. And then the last thing I need to do is take my panel and put my panel back in place, and it snaps in place. Now be gentle with this. Here's what I've noticed a lot with a lot of people is that when they get close to being to the end of their project, they'll rush because they're happy they finished whatever they worked on. And keep in mind, this is a 96 Honda Accord, and I don't know who else has already been in this dash or messed around with it. So, you know, you just gotta take your time. When you start rushing is when you're gonna break things. So what I'll do is I'll put this last panel up. I can't do it one-handed. I'll put this last panel back in place, put the little cubby hole back in place, and then this car will be done. So thank you again for watching, and I hope this helps you.